actually a paternal society that had a maternal front. Okay, whereas this society is a matriarchy with a patriarchal front. And understand the differences and polarities and how they work. That's where this book was coming from. It has got nothing to do with me being this super authority on women. That's bullshit. So anyone dealing from that end got serious ego problems, especially you feminists out there who can't take any more criticism from men, but want to be men anyway. If you read into it and see what it really is, and don't go in there with a whole baggage of prejudices, you'll see that I wrote this for you to help yourself, sister. After this, I said it, you can go back to it, it's there for you. I got over 125 different references in different books for you to go and read in my bibliography in that book. It's not me saying all of this, I'm interpreting what's being said. And it's all about love. I ain't mad at you. All right? Good. Now, the real question about alignments and what we should be doing. Well, putting down some information here, all alignments that you see around the planets, around different solar systems, all astrosophic alignments, all cosmic alignments are based on musical harmonic values, just like music. In other words, the alignment of planets, all planets spinning around the sun, have a tone and a value with that tone. They have an energy based upon their movement around the sun. That movement around the sun creates certain notes, creates certain types of disturbances based on that movement. They set up a value as they intersect, just like you hit the chord on a piano. Every chord in a piano has certain values that create certain moods. So a specific type of chord will create sorrow. A specific type of chord will create anger or happiness. Different chords would be hit, different structures would be hit. And when you hit these structures, certain moods are felt. Well, this is what happens when the planets began to spin and eventually converge into the alignment that they had right now. This new alignment at this point, when it began to hit its apex, it hit an overtone. All of them aligning hit one chord with an overtone. Now the higher emotions are being played by this alignment, which will cause a somewhat severe adjustment in many people. Very, very severe adjustments are going to start happening because any alignment brings about a change in a body, because the note struck begins to create feelings that will be lasting as long as the note or the value lasts. So whenever you hit a chord, you notice the piano has a pedal. And when you hit that pedal down, it either stretches the note or it hits it hard, and it's a staccato versus a legato. Okay? Right now, the legato or the harmonic or the resonance from the harmonic struck by this alignment is going to reverberate for about a year or so. And it's going to cause people to start aligning their energies, and different things are going to start happening. And as I was coming here, I put down a few notes so that y'all can have it. Within this particular note that was struck, a door was open. A dimensional door was open. This door began a sequence, a disturbance that will create a sequence of events every time this planet circles the sun. Every time this planet circles the sun, another chord will be struck, until 12 chords will be struck, so that by the year 2012, on the precise date of December 21st, another harmonic will be hit based on all of these chords that were struck throughout the 12 years, converging so that a 13th or an overtone will be created. So the Mayans put down that December 21st, 2012 is the end of time. So a lot of people are now trying to gather together all that they can. They got all kind of underground cities, mountains, all places they're burrowing deep. They're getting ready to deal with the upheaval that's getting ready to happen. There's a change happening here. Off the east coast right here, there is a tidal wave flux of the ocean bottom getting ready to happen. And there's a crack right along the eastern coast that any disturbance from planetary influences will cause the water to shift in its weight, basically because the water will begin to press against the floor based on the gravitational pull of this alignment. The water will begin to cause the earth plates to change, and what will happen is a whole new bottom will fall out from the floor where we have it on the east coast, and a tidal wave is supposed to hit this coast. At that time, there will be another island, or with that shift in the plates, another island will be setting up off the coast of the United States, right down about the West Indies, just north of the South American islands. The West Indian islands, just north of South America, right where the islands are that you see, Trinidad and the rest of them. All of that will become a new island. The smaller islands are supposed to go up underwater. But the change in everything that's happening around us at this time is going to have an effect not just on our consciousness, but Earth consciousness. She's going to clean herself. She's going to wipe out all the shit that's been happening here. And you just better not be in the places where mama's going to take care of business. Now, we are entering what I have come to term only as a unique new relativity pool. Now, the relativity that we have as our consciousness, as our matter-of-fact day-to-day reality is going to change. A whole new relativity pool or relativity vortex that will change our perception of time and space is about to be set up. This relativity pool is going to set up situations where spontaneous manifestations of thought, or you're going to walk into dimensional doorways or pathways of reality where you will see people, boom, wait a minute, I was just thinking about you. Boom, the person is there. You find yourself converging on the time and the space where that person is going to be. Certain thought signatures will be seen as virtual reality holographic pictures that you're going to think you're having an illusions on. This will also take place based upon vitamin deficiencies. So you have to know the difference between your brain needing new minerals and hallucinating versus your body having enough of a charge to take a thought out of an invisible realm and put it into a spectral realm where you can view it with your eyes and see your thoughts circling around you. You see that sometimes when you press your eyes and you see little spots, light spots, even in the dark, all around your eyes. That's the way your eyes absorbs light and have the ability to store light, and how thoughts operate in a matrix to force elementals to become attracted to the template that the thought creates. Our bodies will begin to feel the adjustment process. So all you out there eating that pork juice sandwich and flipping them Mickey D burgers, y'all better put that shit down, because you're going to start oinking instead of talking. Okay. There will be a physiological and psychological clearing. A lot of people who seem to be sane going to look crazy and start acting crazy. You're going to want to know why they have this split personality is going to start showing up on people, and it's going to be in the least likeliest person. I may start flipping out. You may start seeing me talking all kind of shit, and you say I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. Sometimes the language of other dimensional overlaps. See, this dimensional overlaps is happening like this. And sometimes when your body is in tune with the overlap, the space-time reference in which language delineates the reality, in where language puts a solidity to the reality, that doesn't apply. Where language now tries to define what it is that it's feeling. There is no language for what we're about to experience. We have to disassemble the reality by the way we have assembled it verbally and reassemble it using what we do have of language to try to identify what it is that we are feeling in the new time. The shift in the frequency output will occur from the planets in our solar system, aligning to the frequency shift in other solar systems. So I'm saying that there is no planetary alignment. This whole alignment is a galactic alignment of solar systems and constellations. Constellations are being put in place to reposition us. A whole new respatiation of light fixtures. We look up in the sky dead at night up in Alaska, and you will see the sky has fixtures of light. And these fixtures of light have to do with the codings of our DNA, of the way light affects us, and how we translate light into consciousness. Many will feel the effects of the shift gradually. Others will feel it radically. Some people will fall out and start doing the break dancing. And don't know why they start to shaking and feeling it all up their spines. Some of the effects over the next few months will be disorientation and lack of coordination. So if you couldn't dance before, you're really fucked now. If you can't stand up and walk straight, learn to do it now, because over the next few months, you're going to start seeing yourself teeter-tottering like you're drunk, like something wrong with you. Your ability to see distances or to measure distances in relationship to yourself may shift, and you may find yourself reaching for something that's farther from you than it is, thinking that it's closer. Okay? You'll end up having flu symptoms and sicknesses where you never had them before, at times of the year where you never had them before. The flu symptoms are actually a clearing, a physiological clearing. The cells know what time it is, even if you don't. So the cells are saying, hey, I have a directive and an imperative. Time to clean all this shit up. Time to get all of this junk out. Time to renovate. Time to throw out. Spring cleaning. Get rid of all of what it is you have as your past angers, as your past disorientations. If there's anybody you got that's been a pain in the ass now for the last 5-10 years, get rid of them. Goodbye. Because the thing that you have at this point, the consciousness, the state of mind that you have at this point, is what's going to be amplified in the next few months. So start thinking some real sweet thinking, some sweet thoughts. Our emotions will quickly become the visible symptoms of disease. So again, if you're holding on to any kind of emotions based upon loved ones, based upon your work, based upon your place in reality, it's time for you to make an assessment of what those emotions have been doing to you, because you're going to see a huge jump in cancer diseases, in the amount of migraine headaches, in the amount of problems with the eyes especially, because the seeing, the part of your brain that is supposed to be getting adjusted to a whole new light code, if this instrument ain't working properly, and if your heart and your liver and everything is not working in conjunction, then you're going to start seeing all kind of hazes before your eyes, spots before your eyes. Rashes will be coming up on your skin. This is another clearing from the lungs, because all these toxins and poisons are changing the value of consciousness. The toxins that you're breathing in have different types of chemicals that were purposefully put into the air, that was set into your communities, the type of gasoline they got coming into your community versus the type of gasoline they got going out in the outer community. All these different things are going to start showing up, so that asthma and all kinds of skin rashes, and watch for discoloration of dark folks. Discoloration of dark folks. And sisters who are into oiling and boiling their hair, I'm telling you, you're going bald. You're going to watch out, getting those processes. Y'all better start doing some natural shit and stop trying to imitate these white women. Blisters will be coming up on your body. The sun today is not the type of sun our ancestors used to decode the information that we are now studying. This sun is a purging sun. So dark folks got to go out protecting themselves from the sun as well. We got to be really, really careful with this sun. This sun is the sun that's come to burn up the dross. This sun has come to clean out all the shit that you've been eating in your body, all the wrong thoughts that are coming out as your symptoms. All of these things are now going to come to the surface, and they're going to sit at the surface of your skin. And if your sun is there, which is the purging sun, if you're wrong and your shit is all screwed up and your thinking and your mental framework is all fucked up, it's going to show up on your skin as blisters, and you're going to sunburn just like the cracker. Ringing in your ear. There'll be a lot of ringing in people's ears. That's because your ancestors' energies are going to be resurfacing. If you in there in the Christian church singing and talking and glory hallelujah, you're going to start getting headaches. Your back's going to start hurting. Your belly's going to start hurting. Your head's going to start hurting because you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, realigning to your ancestors' language, to your ancestors' songs, to your ancestors' names. If you do not realign to the ancestors' information as they put it down, the lie that this European gave to you will become your demise. I'm saying this, and I'm real with this. You've got to start dealing with your ancestors' sounds, languages, tones, and with their clothing. Start putting up frequencies and vibrations that were based upon how your ancestors interpreted the reality of their time, of their world. Because that was a harmonic that was struck based upon energies that your ancestors had given to you from their interpretation. The psyche of your ancestors interpreted the reality from inside out, whereas this Caucasoid, based upon his calcified pineal, couldn't interface with the language of his psyche or the language of the image that was giving him the information. So what he did was he gave an idea to what he thought he saw. So what you got is this Greco-Roman Platonic view of the world. Everything he describes of the symbols of reality is based upon his given idea. He stamps reality with his definitions of it. Bam, bam. So now the earth is going through all kind of changes because his view of the world don't fit with what reality is. So he's polluting and fucking shit up. So now the earth is saying, you know, this is bullshit. This is a cyst. Whereas your Medunecha, which is your ancestors' information, you interpreted reality based upon the symbol telling you what it was. In other words, the principle that conveyed the symbol is what told you what that symbol meant. So you had a more basic and truer understanding of what it is that nature was telling you she was, not what you had made of a supposition and based upon your opinion and interpretation. So until you go back to seeing the world based upon the view of your ancestors and begin to understand her evolution as well as yours, you're going to go ahead with the waste and the byproducts, and you're going to go under with this European's view of the world, because that's what's being destroyed. It's not the European that's being destroyed, it's his view of the world that's being destroyed. His view of reality, his codification of reality is being destroyed. Your body will sometimes shake without any reason. You begin to start to see that you got either Alzheimer's or some of those diseases of the nerves. That's because more energy is being poured into your body. More energy is being open for absorption. And don't stand too close to some of these, these well Christianized Negroes or some of these Caucasians, because they may have spontaneous combustion and shit. Motherfuckers catch fire right in front of you. Be mindful of who it is. Heart palpitations to try to maintain the rhythm of what it is your emotions are giving to you. So heart palpitations may happen. Your body, through these symptoms, are adjusting to a genetic attunement. Your soul is being recalibrated for a new atmospheric presence, a new atmospheric light code presence that is going to give you the new harmonic value. There is a whole new, and this is going to be very important to us as a humanity, not even talking black, white, green, or otherwise. All alignments are for preparing you to occupy a whole new territory of light. Your body has the intelligence encoded, the divine intelligence, the archetypal programming encoded already in the genes and the DNA, okay? Or whatever archive your body already holds on to. In the adjustment, your body has to recalibrate all of the material in itself that was used to process reality in the last time zone. So understand that the body that you have to use, the temple, the vehicle that you must use for the new reality, must have a whole new hormonal recognition system. The hormonal recognition system for the new reality cannot match that for the old reality. You can't take a 1910 Stutz Bearcat into a place that's going to need a Ferrari for you to get to the next reality. And then those are very poor examples, but you can get the correlation. A whole new type of hormonal energies are going to be created. A new kind of hormones for compassion. A whole new reasoning hormone will come. A whole new type of hormone that will be created for telepathy. Your cells are going to adjust. Your brain will adjust. The blood will adjust and create all new types of hormones that you're going to see science now calibrating. We done found a new hormone in the human body. We wonder what it is. Well, we find that it does bullshit. The hormone is for how you are going to respatiate your reality. Space-time references are going to be changed, and the only way you're going to be able to calibrate space-time references is based upon how you give off specific harmonics of compassion, specific harmonics of what you want to call love. That's going to bridge the gap that time has made. That's going to bridge the gap that space or the reference of space has made. So whole new hormones are going to be created to match the new light code consciousness time zone that you're going to be occupying. Your hair and your nails will begin to grow at a rapid pace. It's going to match certain types of chemistries that are going to be necessary for those new hormones to be created. For those new hormones to be created, new kinds of a recalibration of the minerals in your body are going to have to be done. These new recalibrations of minerals are going to force you to see, motherfucker may grow another eye or some shit. We don't know. That's if you ain't right. Babies are going to be born with tails. You're going to see more babies born with tails and shit. And that's another thing y'all going to have to watch out for. This shit may seem funny, but people going to start changing their looks in front of you. You're going to start seeing shit, like you're going to be looking at somebody and the motherfucker look like a dog, and you're going to shake your head. And it's only going to be looking for a moment. What you're going to do is see the real energy that person is giving off, because all the animals are nothing but symbols of archetypal humanity's emotional sojourn through different levels of consciousness to third dimension. And what are the residual experiences of our spiritual selves became the animal levels. That's why they preceded us into the third dimension. In the Bible, you see them create all the animals first before man. That's because man's experience during the time man was condensing into the third dimensional level of matter. While he was doing that shit, he was going through a relationship dilemma between the God self and the new prison that he was about to occupy. This frightening new prison that he called the body. And with those thoughts that were being formulated at that time, the residues of those thoughts were being cast into relationship with the material planes that he was about to occupy. Now these thoughts, being that he is or she is the creator, these thoughts were byproducts of a creator's mind, experiencing itself for the first time as Lucifer took that part of the creator's mind into the deepest recess of the triple blackness. That now began to spew out different animal energies which became the fixing points for human consciousness. That's why the Native Americans study the animals to see what they do by their instincts so that we will know what not to do, how not to fuck up, what to teach us with. So you may see somebody, like off the corner of your eye, some dude look like a bear or an animal or something, and you shake your head, you say, well, what the fuck was that? That's because your eyes are being, again, recalibrated to be able to see more subtler frequencies, to be able to see vibrations, and to see the levels and quality and value of that vibration, and thus see different realities. Now, of course, there are people who are going to be listening to this shit saying, damn, what the fuck is that going to do for us getting welfare and all that shit, and getting these police off our backs and all that shit? I don't know. Apply it where you may. But there is a reality coming that they say an educated consumer is our best customer. When you stop eating that, we stop these bastards from putting up this Ben and Jerry shit in your community. When you stop them from putting Mickey D hamburgers, when you stop them from bringing in all kinds of, I mean, look at all these buildings all of a sudden getting cleaned up and regentrified, and they're gonna have Harlem so high for you all to live in here. All you niggas can't afford to live in Harlem no more.
Well, let me stop you there for just a minute.
Uh-huh.
Anybody has a question they might want to ask?
Yeah.
After I change the tape, may do so. Let me hold on.
That's a good way of putting it. People who are not in alignment with what nature is saying by the principle that nature is conveying in the symbol. So when you look at a tree, what is a tree? You have to go back to the way your ancestors codified what the trees meant to the planet and to them. You have to recalibrate your imaging and your perceptual processors. The perceptual processor is the psyche. Your psyche was raped, mutilated, and torn down by the 500-year diasporic experience you've been in here. You give thanks to Willie Lynch for that. So our ability as a psyche, as an African psyche, as a melanated psyche, as a Native American psyche, the way we calibrated reality with nature, we no longer act within that calibration of our ancestors. We act the way the European told us reality was. So we assign a reality based upon book learning